Olympic heroine Katarina Witt has achieved great glory around the world, but she's paid the price, allegedly stalked by a man with a dangerous sexual obsession. Now they're set for an embarrassing showdown. Doug Bruckner has the story.
Katarina Witt was about to take the ice here at the LA Forum when FBI agents made their move last December. They were acting to stop an allegedly dangerous sexual obsession that goes back to the 1988 Winter Olympics. 1988 was the year Katarina Witt combined skating skill and sex appeal to become a double Olympic gold medalist.
It's very nice for me that I can go to the Olympics for the second time. And I trained hard the last year and I want to defend the title, but it will be very hard because there are many girls to have the chance to win a medal.
But the skating sizzle that got her the gold and the big bucks from the Diet Coke commercials has backfired in the cruelest way. The Ice Queen is about to go on the hot seat. Tomorrow, she'll be in the witness chair in Santa Ana, California federal court, and it could be the most embarrassing day of Katarina's life. She'll be testifying about this man, 47-year-old Harry Veltman, on trial for allegedly sending the skater threatening and obscene letters. And even worse for Katarina, she'll have to undergo cross-examination by the accused. Harry Veltman is acting as his own attorney. And according to handwritten papers he's given the judge, Veltman plans to ask Katarina in court if she thinks his sexually graphic letters are obscene. The sad irony for Katarina is that this humiliating experience was made possible by one of her East German countrymen's proudest accomplishments, the destruction of the Berlin Wall. When she became a sports champion under communism, Katarina's mail and visitors were closely monitored by the government. But by 1990, things were different. Freedom made it possible for Katarina to be visited in East Germany by a total stranger. Harry Veltman's mother says he spent 7 weeks there.
He told me when he came back he had seen her many times and spoke with her many times. And of course she wasn't very happy about it. She didn't want to talk to him.
She tried to avoid him, he said.
And that's my understanding.
And was she polite to him, did he say?
Yes, she was polite to him. As far as I understand, that she was polite, but she didn't want him to bother her.
According to the FBI, Veltman followed Katarina on her American tour. Denver, January 1991. Veltman arrested for throwing copies of his letters onto the ice. San Francisco, that same tour. Court documents allege Veltman confronted Katarina at her hotel. But it's Veltman's letters that the FBI describes as menacing and threatening, conveying a, quote, jealous obsession. You would rather die than live without me, and, quote, whoever fails to follow my rules must be terminated immediately. Veltman's mother says the letters have been misinterpreted.
He introduced himself to her parents there on her front step. And, you know, if he had anything violent in his mind, he could have done something then, but he didn't.
Veltman graduated from high school in L.A. in the 60s and, according to his mother, started work in a tool and die shop, but later got a pilot's license and traveled the country flying as a crop duster.
He has never been a violent person, ever. Even as a child, he never had one of these, you know, he never had a violent temper. He was always very, what I call a pacifist.
Veltman has distributed literature promoting a presidential candidacy and claims he can find Noah's Ark. In federal court, he demanded a jury composed of nymphomaniacs. In Denver, Veltman was placed under psychiatric observation after his arrest. But now in California, a judge has rejected his guilty plea and is allowing him to stand trial and act as his own lawyer. From Los Angeles Federal Prison, Veltman sent a statement denying he meant Katarina any harm. Veltman said the communications the government says are obscene are actually just erotic love letters.
He's very much in love with her and has this fascination with her and feels like he's really in love with her and feels like if she knew him, she would be in love with him. Wherever that goes, I don't know.
On and off the ice, Katarina Witt is used to dealing with pressure and controversy. During the Olympics, there was a furor among coaches over her skimpy costumes. On her last vacation in the south of France, the paparazzi wouldn't leave her alone. She was criticized by her own people when she defended the government that built the hated wall, and she even had her jewelry stolen. But when she comes to court in California tomorrow, the skater famous for being cool as ice will have to summon all her famous poise. No one intended it to be this way, but the defendant, Harry Veltman, may have Katarina Witt exactly where he wants her.
As we've discussed before, most celebrities get menacing mail. The question is whether or not, how much of it you discard and how much of it you take seriously.
And even in the best of circumstances, big irrational element to love, big element of that here. Olympic skater Katarina Witt stood tall in a new arena this week, a courtroom, facing down a fan with a dangerous sexual obsession. Our Doug Bruckner was there.
People who remember Katarina Witt from her flamboyant Olympic performances had to take a second look when they saw her here at federal court. She was grim and tense, arriving with an entourage from her Hollywood public relations firm. They shielded her from reporters. Gone was the trademark poise and showmanship of Katarina's skating routine and the sparkle of her Diet Coke commercials. Katarina dressed down, wore little makeup, and entered the courthouse through a security area used for federal prisoners.
And I never thought one day I'll be in a courtroom in the United States, with my background where I'm coming from. So
how would you compare today with the big pressures of the Olympic competitions and other things that have happened in your life?
Well, when you go in a competition, you know what you're doing. I've been practicing skating since more than 20 years, so I know what I'm doing when I go out there. So I was shaky.
Shaky but sure when she ignored defendant Harry Veltman's stare and testified, "I believed he was going to kill me." Veltman tried to cross-examine Katarina, but stumbled when she testified she took a Bible he'd mailed to her and threw it away. The German skater adapted easily to American justice, but her Hollywood handlers didn't feel she was quite ready to exercise freedom of speech.
Just so you understand, she is not going to be able to say anything about the testimony or the direction of the case, but she will have a brief statement to make and maybe a couple of general questions, but no specific questions about the testimony.
Well, it has been a terrible experience for me, and you can understand that I'm glad that's over. I just hope no one got upset about that. I didn't keep the Bible, but you understand that I just did not want to keep anything he sent me. Now I'm glad to go back and practice because it really interrupted my practice. I'm having a competition coming up in 3 weeks in Cincinnati, and I just hope everything is going to go all right.
Katarina seemed anxious to talk about her ordeal, but the publicists weren't. Katarina probably felt she didn't have this many stage managers when she hosted the Winter Olympics for CBS.
When you walked in the courtroom and actually came face to face with this man, what?
Well,
No, I don't. She shouldn't deal with this. Ms. Witt, do you still fear him? No answer.
No answer to that either? Are you glad it's over? Can you say that?
Well, yeah, sure.
After her second gold medal championship in the Olympics, Katarina testified she received over 1,000 fan letters, and she told the court there was nothing that upset her like the mail she received from Harry Veltman. Katarina emphasizes all fans aren't like him.
Thank God. The majority of my fans, they have been very supportive. And after this was out, I got a lot of fan mail and saying that they're supporting me and even saying, well, we're not one of those, we're really supporting fans, and thank you to them. It helps a lot.
And about obsessed fans?
There's actually nothing you can do, and I think what was done today, maybe this will help for other cases.
But Katarina Witt's public relations team didn't keep her around to find out how this case turned out. She was on the road within an hour after testifying, destination Toronto, for more training.
Well, I still love skating, and there are a couple of professional competitions coming up. I just finished a tour recently in New York, and we hope we will have a new tour again. and we're planning to do a movie, a skating movie. So there are a couple projects coming up which I'm really looking forward to.
Katarina Witt's next public appearance will be early next month, the competition in Cincinnati. It's a good bet she'll look more like this than like this. At age 26, she's now experienced the highs and lows of celebrity, but she's been a winner every time.
Earlier today, Harry Veltman was found guilty of sending obscene letters through the mail to Katarina. He faces a possible 30-year maximum sentence. You have to wonder what part of no didn't he understand?